Another 10-run output by the Yankees. Their first 6-game winning streak of the season. They're playing good baseball right now. And they're playing good baseball against teams they should be playing good baseball against. So hopefully that leads into good baseball against the better teams in a couple days. We've got 2 more against the White Sox. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Just celebrate this Yankees win. Right? The good thing about the Yankees win today is that Toronto lost and the Red Sox lost. So the Yankees pick up a game on both. And I think now the Yankees might be in sole possession of second place, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check this out in a second. But let's box score this. Carlos Rodon, sharp. Got his 15th win of the season. He's 15-7. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Fernando Cruz coming in a clean inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Tim Hill, an inning, 3 hits, 1 run, and a strikeout. And then Camilo Doval came in, cleaned it up. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk. Didn't give up any runs. So he's slowly getting better, too. Now, offensively, Trent Grisham 1 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a home run with that grand slam he hit earlier in the game. It's his 28th home run of the season. These are definitely hitting the ball well. Aaron Judge was 0 for 2. Cody Bellinger 0 for 3. Ben Rice 1 for 5 with an RBI. Giancarlo Stanton 0 for 3 with a run scored. Jose Caballero for 1. He came in later in the game. Jazz Chisholm 0 for 2, but with 0 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Ryan McMahon was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Anthony Volpe 2 for 4 with a home run. Better last couple days for Anthony Volpe. And Austin Wells 2 for 3 with a run scored as well, and an RBI. Volpe had 3 RBIs as well, so not too bad, guys. Not too bad. Now around the horn, Tigers are up 5-3 over the Royals right now in the 9th. The Twins are up 7-4 on the Padres in the 8th. The Astros are up on the Angels 2-0 in the 9th. The Cubs are up 11-3 over the Rockies in the 7th. The Rangers are up 2-0 over the Athletics in the 3rd. No score, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Giants are up 4-1 on Orioles in the 2nd inning already. And then we won 10-2. The Pirates beat the Red Sox 4-2. Peyton Toll made his Major League debut. He pitched against Paul Skeens, who got the win. Paul Skeens. I think he's 9-9 now, with barely a 2 ERA. Barely a 2. But the other kid, Peyton Toll, pitched pretty well as well. Guardians 5-4 over the Mariners. Mets 19-9 over the Marlins, and wanted to duplicate the Phillies' 19-run output yesterday. Oh my God! The Brewers 7-2 over the Blue Jays. The Rays 4-1 over the Nationals. Phillies 2-1 over the Braves. Cardinals 7-5 over the Reds. That's pretty much it for the output here. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it around the horn. But another win by the Yankees. First 6-game winning streak of the season. I'll take it. They're playing better baseball right now. Yo, Ken, what do you know? Ceto's in the building. Hello, Susan. How are you? Nelson. No, Marcus. What's good, everybody? What good? Tomorrow starts the first really big week of college football. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Give me some big football games on tap tomorrow. So tomorrow the Yankees play at 7:10 p.m. tomorrow. And it's going to be Cam Schlittler versus Shane Smith. Let me see Shane Smith. Shane Smith, White Sox. Another righty pitcher. It's 4-7 with a 3.87 ERA. I want to see more Caballero. I want to see more Ahmed Rosario in there. If you haven't heard, Austin Slater started his rehab today in AAA, so he's on his way back. Don't be surprised if you see him when the roster expands from 26 to 28 real soon. And there is a possibility they may not call Spencer Jones, right? We'll see. We will see. Austin Slater obviously has more experience at the major level, hits lefties really well. He's a naturalized outfielder, so he has a lot of things that the Yankees looked for when they traded for him at the deadline. So, and if we're going to face any of these teams in the postseason, like the Red Sox, they're going to have two strong lefties. Tigers, strong lefty. The Astros, strong lefty. Right? A lot of these playoff teams, if we get to the playoffs and play them, we're going to need guys that can hit lefties. So we have guys that can hit lefties. The other cool thing about today is the Yankees drew, I think, 8 or 9 walks, which is good too. They're being more patient at the plate, which is a good sign. Yeah, Walker Buehler was released today by the Red Sox, so they can call up Peyton Toll as their number one pitching prospect to pitch against Paul Skeens today. And Emmanuel Clase was put on. He had his leave extended. His paid leave extended. So my guess is he's most likely done for the year. I don't know if he's done at all. I mean, like done completely. We'll see. We'll see. I do think Slater, if he's ready by September 1st, I could see him coming up. So the Yankees are slowly working their way for first base. Remember, we had so many people in this chat saying the Yankees were done, cooked. Remember this? I don't know. The Dodgers might. They might. They need pitching. They might. Yeah, Volpe's actually hitting the ball. He's hitting the ball. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. And if he has Greg Joyce, yeah. So if he's ready to go in a couple days, then let him come up, yeah. And again, with these roster expansions, you don't have to make a corresponding roster move. Like that was one of my thoughts earlier. If Austin Slater was going to come up, well, no matter who, if he was going to come up before rosters expanded, who are they going to move down? And if you look at the 26-man roster, right now offensively, it's a crunch across the board. It's easier to move pitching. So when Ryan Yarbrough comes back, there are some guys that they can move. So that's why I'm really glad that the roster is expanding on Monday. So I think we're going to have a bat and an arm. I think it's going to be Yarbrough and Slater probably. I was hoping that it was going to be Spencer Jones, but I think it's going to wind up being Slater. But we'll see. All right. We will see. Yeah, the Buckeyes play Texas tomorrow. That's right. He might be. Yeah. Might be activated after the series on Sunday in time to travel with the team and meet the Yankees up in Houston for 3. So he might. But yeah, I mean, Trent Grisham, he's on fire. I mean, 28 dogs. He's just a clutch, absolutely clutch player. These tiny home runs. He does everything for the team right now. He's playing himself to a nice contract, a really nice contract. Yep. I'm hoping to get to see Spencer Jones too. But if Austin Slater comes up and he helps the Yankees, then don't be surprised if we don't see Spencer Jones until spring training. Let him keep developing in AAA. He's kind of slowed down recently over the last couple of weeks, so let him kind of work on that in AAA. Let him rebound again to finish the season strong in AAA if he stays down there. Yeah, but believe me, I would love to see Spencer Jones. How long will they have? Keep Jones in the minors. He's going to get his chance. He's going to get a chance to win the starting job in spring training next year. He'll definitely get his chance. I have a feeling that Jason Dominguez is going to be moved this offseason. So they're going to try. I know they're going to try to move him. Quietly looking to putting feelers out for him. Yep. But yeah, let him in terms of Spencer Jones, let him keep developing in AAA. And this is a chance to see how well he comes back from a little bit of a dip in production at AAA. This is his first dip in AAA. Let's see how well he comes back. I think. Well, I think Scott Boras is going to when it comes to Bellinger, if he opts out, I think Scott Boras is going to go to try to get 7 or 8 years at 30 million per. I I think he'll wind up getting 6 or 7 years of like. I keep thinking the Carlos Rodon contract, 6 years, like 162 million. That's 6 years, 26 million. It's gonna be right around there, I think. Not far from it, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, he might get 200 million for 6 years, or close to it. It depends, but most agents are anywhere from 3 to 5%. Yeah. Oh, without Freed, man, oof. Yankees would be in trouble this year without Freed. Well, my guess, Buckeye, my guess is Grisham's going to get a qualifying offer, reject it, and look to sign elsewhere. And if he does, I think they're going to bring back either Grisham or Bellinger, one or the other. Okay. And beyond that, I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. That's why I think if Dominguez gets moved, then expect to see Spencer Jones up here next year. What are my thoughts on Mark Teixeira getting into politics? Well, ain't good for him, but you know he's going to be pushing to hurt a lot of people and a lot of stuff. So I'm not for that. Not for that. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. Well, think of it. See, though, think of it like let's just say Scott Boras made 5% on Juan Soto's contract. That's he made almost $40 million on Juan Soto contract alone. He reps all the big guys. He's got Tarek Skubal. He's got Cody Bellinger. He's got a ton of folks. No, I mean, Scott Boras. He's probably richer than most players are. I think they're going to try to bring back Luke Weaver, Susan. I do see that. 6 years to a mine, maybe yeah. I mean, six. That's 33 million per. A little over, a little like 33.3 per. So, Skubal is a Boras client. Yes, he is. Tarek Skubal is a Boras client. Hmm. Alonso's, I think, is a Pete Alonso a Boras client? I think he might be. Um, let's see. Pete Alonso is repped by Scott Boras. How about Pete Alonso is with Boras? How about Kyle Schwarber? Excel Sports Management. He's not repped by Scott Boras. Kyle Schwarber. Tiffany, great win for the Yankees tonight. Six game win streak right now. No, I would not. They're not going to DFA Volpe, Aiden. I don't know who's coming up with these pipe dreams. They're not going to DFA Volpe. And DFA does not mean release. DFA means designate for assignment. If you accept your assignment, you go to the minors. If you reject your assignment, then you become a free agent. But Bichette is not an upgrade defensively over Volpe. Joking Petruzzi. What's up, Petruzzi? What's going on? These comments are flying by pretty fast on my end. If I'm missing comments, folks, I apologize. Yeah, it's going pretty quickly on my end. Yeah, they do have a shot. They're not far from the division. They're not far. I think I'm hearing that if the Phillies don't bring back Kyle Schwarber, they're going to go hard after Kyle Tucker. That's what I'm hearing. Kyle Tucker's the backup plan to Kyle Schwarber. Yep. Scott Boras. I think they're going to try to keep Schwarber. It makes sense for them to try. He's, to me, the hands-down MVP in the National League. I think he's the MVP of the National League. I do not think Ohtani is the MVP. Yeah, Scott Boras means he's a headache for owners, that's for sure, and GMs, but he's a dream for players. Yeah. I think Bichette will either resign in Toronto or go to a team like the Dodgers. I think Devin Williams is probably going to go to Dodgers next year, too. Schwarber, I think, is 32 years old. And Tucker is going to be 30. I say it all the time, Brandon. Elias Caballero and Rosario more. I say it all the time. Spencer Jones is he's my top guy, my top Yankee prospect. And watch out for Dylan Lewis. He's another outfield prospect from the Yankees. They drafted him last year. He's moving up through the system pretty quickly. So, how did the Mets pitcher do today? They won 19-9. Let's have a look. The Mets pitcher, Jonah Tong, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. It's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees will look to add a starting pitcher this offseason. Who, I don't know. But I'm sure they'll be putting in inquiries on everybody. Yeah. Like, if Spencer Jones stays down there, I just hope he continues to develop and I hope he continues to play well. And I hope he comes ready for cross country. I mean, not cross country, for preseason or spring training and rock and rolls and ready to rock and roll. If we trade the Martian, I think if that happens, if they trade the Martian, then, well, if they keep Bailey and Grisham, then it's going to be, Spencer Jones' playing time will be kind of like the way Jason Dominguez was this year. So that's just something. Yeah, Andrew Heaney got released. It's funny. The Pirates, they put they DFA yesterday. Put IKF on waivers. They did this a couple years ago to Rowdy Tellez. He was not far away from getting a bonus. So IKF was 81 at-bats away from a $250K bonus. Pirates got rid of him. Andrew Heaney was 8 innings pitched. 8 innings pitched away from a $100,000 bonus. Pirates got rid of him. And Brian Hayes traded. He signed a big contract. So this is all the more reasons to try to get Paul Skeens out of there. Why trade Warren for a starter? He's a starter himself. And what starter would you trade him for? He's developing into a really good number 5, Sivia. Like, who would you trade Dominguez and Warren for? Yeah, they should not be afterthoughts in analytics. They really shouldn't. They shouldn't be afterthoughts. Shallow. That's right. I think Cam is probably going to be number 2 or 3 in the postseason, not 5. They're not going to go to 5-man rotation in the postseason. I think they probably go 3 in the divisional round, and if they get to the next round, it'll be 4. I think, but we'll see. Let's get to the postseason. Let's just secure our spot in the postseason first, and then go from there. And one of the reasons why I don't think they're going to re-sign Grisham and Bellinger is because in probably 2 more years, Judge is going to leave the outfield and go to DH, and they're going to want to have some of their young guys in there. No. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Paul Skeens, I'm asking, please trade me to the Yankees. I mean, I don't have an issue with the 6-man rotation, Buckeye, but I'm not exactly sure they'll do it. I'm not sure. I could see them taking a flyer on Buehler because he has his ERA is just over 3 in the postseason, and that's like in 90 innings pitched. He's a good postseason pitcher, Walker Buehler. So if they're going to take a flyer on anybody, it could be him and not Heaney. But Heaney will get picked up by someone, but he hasn't been great this year, Andrew Heaney. What's your logic, Buckeye, on a 6-man rotation? Is it just to keep guys healthy? Which I can understand that. If they re-sign Bellinger and Grisham, then say goodbye to Dominguez. He will get traded. No, I don't think Bellinger's going to be at first base. It's going to be Ben Rice going to be at first base. This is the conundrum we have here. This is why I think it's going to be one or the other, because we have Ben Rice here. It's going to be harder to move Bellinger to first base now with Ben Rice there. Schwarber's a free agent in 2 months, Daniel. And he's averaged 47 home runs per year in the last 4 years with the Phillies. 47. He's at 180 home runs or 170 something home runs. I mean, it's crazy. 44 home runs or 47, something right around there. I think if we play better than 500 ball against those 4 teams, then I think we'll be in good shape. Now we have him for 2 more full seasons, Susan, 26 and 27, and there's a team option for 28. But the caveat after this year is the Marlins pay $10 million of his salary for 26 and 27. So we get a $10 million break both years on Stanton. Cole and Schmidt. We've got Schlittler. Yeah, but you're right too. Okay, we're getting Cole back, and I'm not sure when we're going to get Schmidt back, but Schmidt maybe the end of next year or the beginning of 27. We'll have Cole back for spring training. He's already started, throwing. So getting Cole back will be helpful next year. Will be helpful. You're welcome, Susan. So aside from that, there's going to be. The Yankees have a lot of money coming off the books after this year and the following year. So I could see them, maneuvering some things. Buehler got released a little while ago. Conceieta, he's gone, completely released by the Red Sox. So he's now a free agent. Yeah, Stanton, exactly. My logic, Big Jake Boss, if he gets, let's just say he gets, I don't know, another 5 or 6 home runs this year, and he'll be under 50. If he gets to 500 in the next 2 years, then maybe they'll just give him his buyout for 2028 and let him walk or retire. If he's close to 500, not that far away, then I think the Yankees bring him back to get 500 here, one way or the other. That's my take, but we'll see. That's what the fair weather fans do, Wayne. That's why I don't really take them seriously. Yeah. I wonder what happened with Big G if he retires. I wonder. You hit the like button, gang. Really appreciate it. Jazz could get 30-30. I mean, we had like a couple guys, and Volpe's got 19 home runs now, so that's another guy's one home run away from 20. I think McMahon's got 18 or 19 also. That's another guy who can get to 20. But aside from that, we got a bunch of guys over 20 already, not including Judge. So, But Warren, he can go to the bullpen for long relief, and then you have Yarborough is going to be back in short time. My guess is they'll wait until Monday until the rosters expand. That way they don't have to send anybody down. That way they have extra pitching here for the entire month of September. So, which is a good thing because he'll give guys a break. You can use him. So, I got to do what you got to do, Concierge. I'll wrap this up in a minute too. I'm gonna go upstairs and get a good night, get a good night's rest. I got to go to the gym tomorrow. Saturday morning's my training time. So, yeah, I mean, Volpe will be okay. But if they look to move on from him, they look to move on from him. But I still think we need to find Caballero more playing time and Rosario more playing time. I think I'm leaning towards no, Susan, in terms of keeping Leiter. I am leaning towards no. I know that Loizaga won't be back. I'm leaning towards no, Susan. Because they've got 3 more years or 4 more years of Fernando Cruz also of controllable years. So that's good. And all the relievers that they brought in this year at the deadline, they all have multiple years of control too. That's another thing I'm happy about. I mean, he could be traded this offseason, CeeLo. He could be. Can't trade him now during the season after the deadline, but Buckeye, I think they're going to try to re-sign Weaver. I think they're going to let Devin Williams walk and try to bring back Weaver. That would be my take. That'd be my guess, Buckeye. Weaver he likes it here. He plays well here. He's just got that moxie. What am I? I think he's good for the bullpen. I like the way he carries himself, Weaver. We need Caballero in the lineup as much as possible. We need him as much as possible. Maybe we're going to face some good lefties in these next 12 games. Once we leave the White Sox. Mitch Keller, I'm not sure. Cruise control. It's an interesting one. Mitch Keller will be an interesting one. That would definitely solidify the rotation. You add Garrett Cole to that, and it's a much stronger rotation. Dominguez for Mitch Keller, huh? Framber Valdez from the Houston Astros, power lefty. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year, too. So there's going to be a lot of free agents that are going to be available. Yeah, and I want to get Rosario playing time, too. I want to keep him sharp. He's got to get in there. Got to give him a chance to play. Have a great night, Biga. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, too. I don't want to keep y'all too late. But, again, another 10-run game by the Yankees. And the offense is doing what they need to do. We have 3 more controllable years of Camilo Duvall. We've got 3 more for Jake Bird. We've got 2 more for, I think, 2 or another year for David Bednar, too. So that's one of the things that Cashman wanted to do, was acquire relievers with controllable years. So that if they did lose Weaver and Dev Williams, they're covered in that regard. And they will be. About 80, 90 million coming off the books, Buckeye. About 80 or 90 million. A significant amount. I think Rice is going to be our first baseman, Susan. And I would play JC Scar more often to go along with Wells. That's what I would do, because he's an expert pitch framer, JC Scar. I think Wells is. I think Rice has solidified himself as the first baseman. That's my take, but we'll see if it actually happens. We got to see if Paul Goldschmidt comes back or leaves. Wells is pre-arbitration, so the minimum. So is Ben Rice. So is Dominguez. So is Volpe. These guys are all getting paid pennies on the dollar. No. I wouldn't Dominguez Cleveland for Quan. I don't see the need to move an outfielder for an outfielder. I would move him for pitching, Dominguez, if it were me. I would try to get either a reliever with a lot of controllable years or a starter with some controllable years. Like, if we already have Bellinger and Grisham, there's really no need for Stephen Kwan. Yeah, there are things that Wells needs to work on. But he's still going to put up 20 home runs and probably driving 80 runs per year. You don't get a lot of catchers doing that at the major league level. You really don't. So he's been one of the, on a handful of five, a hand count of 5 that does that. Yeah, Stanton's got trade Stanton, Bellinger, and Rice for Scherzer. Is that a joke? You're joking. Well, yeah, I knew it was a joke. JC Scar's young, and he's got like 5 years of control too. So he's got a lot of years, Scar. I would utilize him too. He's good. He's good. Picks up that jokes. Yep. He put the ball up the middle. He aside from his home run, he just drove the ball where he needs to. And that's more applicable of his skill set. If he swings level and tries to put the ball in the gaps, he'll get into a home run on occasion, right? Instead of trying to hit home runs. He's got 19 home runs already. No. We got a lot of guys on the cheap. Luis Hill on the cheap. Clark Schmidt on the cheap. Will Warren on the cheap. All Fernando Cruz on the arbitration. David Bednar arbitration. Duvall arbitration. Jake Bird all those guys are arbitration. All those guys are making the minimum. 8 years too. Could you imagine that ceiling? Don't raise my blood pressure, bro. That's a freaking Bobby Witt contract right there. Expect the Yankees to be busy this offseason. Expect them to be busy, especially since next offseason is going to be the CBA. There might be some type of lockout, so it'll be a limited time for moves to be made next year. So expect them to be busy this offseason, more so. That's just my take, but I would expect that to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do I think we keep Hill? I'm 50-50, Susan. I am. I'm 50-50 on Hill right now. Let's see, gets my Reed Detmers, right, from the Angels, something like that. Other than that, I think they will try to bring Hill back on the cheap if they could. Yep. Same thing, Chocolate. I think they're going to be smart and strategic. Yes, sir. I think they'll take a flyer on Buehler. I mean, they'll look into it because he's got a good postseason ERA. He's good in the postseason. So and he has to be on a major league roster for a new team before September 1st. In order to be eligible for the postseason, you have to be on the team's roster by September 1st or before it. That's like the one rule when it comes to that stuff. Hope he might get a 3-bag, huh? He might get 3 bills, man. Yeah, he's probably the best Yankee first baseman prospect since Mattingly. I would agree with that. Kevin Moss turned out to be a fluke. Greg Bird, a lot of these guys turned out to be flukes. So a lot of talent, big bats, but they couldn't stay healthy. And right now, Ben Rice is, showing all of them. So get those pom poms out. Dust them off, Susan. Get them, shake him out, get him frizzy and ready. Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome for like 3 months. I was at that game when he hit that upper deck home run against Andrew Miller in the postseason. Oh my God. Against the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, that was a unbelievable home run. That was right after they traded um, Andrew Miller to the Guardians too. A couple months after. My God. Andrew Miller was a reliever that I wish the Yankees would have kept. I really liked Andrew Miller too. The guy we brought up to play first 2 years ago. 2 years ago, CeeLo? Well, we had Greg Bird, but that was more than 2 years ago. With the Yankees wink, I'm thinking it's probably first base, but we'll see. If you're talking about Greg Bird, CeeLo, I think he's playing overseas somewhere. Triple play overseas. I remember that Kevin Youkilis was part of that triple play. Greg Bird, yeah, he was, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. I think he's playing overseas, CeeLo. I think so. He's had a hard time staying kind of healthy, hard time getting picked up by teams, so. Yeah, I mean, Warren's kind of stepped up. You're seeing what's good, brother. What is good? Will Warren stepped up, man. He's really embraced this role. He had a really rough transition last year in a small sample size, but he stepped up this year. So I like what I'm seeing from Will Warren. I think he'll continue to develop. Chris Gittens, baby. Oh my gosh. How you doing, Yassine? What's good? What is good? Yeah, Warren's getting solid. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was long relief this year too. He could be the right-handed long relief, and Yarbrough could be the left-handed long relief for the postseason. Yep, I remember Youkilis, CC Sabathia. I remember that triple play. So you've been part of some good games too, Susan. Some really cool games. That's awesome. Buckeye, thank you so much for Super Stick. Appreciate the generosity. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. That's the king of Texas, by the way. He's got a big game tomorrow. His Ohio State Buckeyes are facing the Texas Longhorns. That's going to be the big Mugambo game tomorrow. That's going to be the big one. Yeah, I think Yarbrough pitch out of bullpen too, Yassine. And that's like, let's just say a star comes in, he gets roughed around for 2 or 3 innings, you bring in Yarbrough. Yarbrough can give you 4 innings. And all of a sudden, you're in the 8th inning next. And that's the type of pitching we need from Yarbrough. Let's see, tomorrow, let's pull this up. Texas, they play at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Texas and Ohio State. Number 1 versus number 3. Get ready, Buckeye. It's going to be a good one. I think so too, Ismail. I think Spencer Jones is knocking on the door here. So I see Schlittler in the rotation in the playoffs, not the bullpen. I see him in the rotation. I was hoping it's going to be Spencer Jones just now, but it sounds like it's going to be Austin Slater to be the guy that comes up when the roster expands. Yeri De Los Santos. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, let's say Yarbrough comes up, they don't have to move anybody. But if the Yankees want to bring up somebody like, let's say Carlos Legrand, or what's the other guy, Elmer Cruz Rodriguez, if they can move on from a pitcher, they can DFA a pitcher, they can option a pitcher out and bring one of these other guys up. So I'm not sure if Yeri De Los Santos is. I'm not sure, CeeLo. It's a good question. I think Yankees will tinker with the bullpen for the rest of the season, figure out what the right mix is going to be. Yeah, Schlittler's got. I like the way he carries himself. I like his mojo on the mound. He's good. Yeah. The Yankees need to win games when the Blue Jays and Red Sox are losing games. They do. They absolutely do, and they did that today. So Ian Hamilton, he's still in the IL. Pixel. He's another guy. He might be one of these guys that the Yankees trade or move on from this offseason too, like Leiter. That's my guess. I can only imagine, Buckeye. Oh God, I can only imagine. The pitcher we got from Nard. That's Elmer Cruz Rodriguez. There's a chance we could see him, maybe. The biggest stadium I've been to, Buckeye, was in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Played Notre Dame in Michigan. And at the street level, you're at the top of the stadium. You can't see the stadium because it goes under the ground. It goes like that. Crazy, but really cool. I think the Yankees will move on from a reliever or two before the season's up. Either an option or something at waivers or yeah. Like Grisham is so money for this team right now. Yeah, Rodriguez, Cruz, he's got a big arm. So does Legrand. So we got some big arms here now. Yelbo, yep, just like Yelbo. I wouldn't be surprised if he moves up to AAA. Would not be surprised at all. Yelbo. There's nothing like college football. Oh, nothing like it. Yarbrough should be back in the next couple of days. Just seeing, my guess is going to be when the roster expands Monday. I think he'll be part of the roster expansion. And probably Austin Slater also. Yeah. Those are my guesses as to who they'll at least get first dibs on the roster expansion. And that doesn't mean you can't swap a guy for another guy as long as the roster is at 28. So you can do that. Micah Parsons. I think the Cowboys got a decent return for him. I think it was this wasn't a fit anymore. Unfortunately, he tried to resurrect the talks, but this wasn't happening. And I mean, as long as he didn't go to the Eagles, or another NFC East team, then I'm okay. But that's going to definitely make the Packers better. Yeah. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys. Whether they're good even after losing a big-time defensive player. And then the Packers also signed him to a 4-year, I think it's $188 million extension too. So, yep, it's a big extension, man. Big extension. It's like $47 million a year. Damn. No. Another Yandy. A lot of Cowboys fans I talk to are not happy. They want Jerry Jones thrown to the wolves. They want him thrown to the wolves. But that's football for you. And there's going to be a lot more roster tinkering. I mean, they've got another week before the official season starts. So, I mean, the Jets are going to finalize their 53. So the Bills, so the Giants. That's why I'm waiting for a couple more days, because they're still bringing guys up to the practice squad. The Jets are projected to make a trade for a wide receiver, so I'm waiting for that. Get back to work on Saturday. Have a great night, my man. And then I'm going to I'll do the final Giants 53 to final Bills 53 also. And then we'll be doing football on Sundays. We'll be doing football, recapping stuff. And so get ready for that too. So but go enjoy your night, gang. Really, peace and love to all of you. Thank you so much. Buckeye. Appreciate the super sticker, and I'll be thinking about you tomorrow. I'm rooting for the Buckeyes. The heck with Texas. Not the state. The heck with the Longhorns. You're the prime minister. And you're the king of Texas. Consigliere's the prime minister of Texas. So you guys are the two guys that need to hold this place down. You got to hold us down. So, Sunil. Yeah. Now it's time to troll Sunil. He loves that. But my cousin is a big Cowboys fan too. It doesn't sound like he's going to watch him either after that trade. So, but go have a great night, everybody. Peace and love to all of you. Let's keep this Yankee streak going here. Tomorrow, let's get 7. Let's get 7, baby. Cam Schlow is on the mound tomorrow. Let's bring it. See y'all tomorrow. Go Yankees.